So, good afternoon. Do it that way and it won't fluff. How we all Freddie Mercury. We are the champions. The champions. Just sort of pop on from the kitchen. I'm trying to avoid going upstairs and getting in my office because I've been there for ages. And I want to get to work. So welcome if you're watching on the replay. The thing is with these, when you just do pop-up lives in the daytime, you never know how many people are going to come in. Hopefully we'll get somebody. But if not, we won't. As usual, it's not a vape show, but I do have a vape. I watched an amazing film last night about a guy called Nicholas Winton. It's on Sky. If you're in the UK, it's on the Sky, I think. I can't remember the title of it, but I'll tell you what, it's well worth a watch. I'd sort of seen bits about him on the... come up on TikTok on little shorts where he was in the That's Life audience. And what a phenomenal guy, to be honest. He saved 669 children from persecution in Czechoslovakia during World War II. Hello, Jane. Hey, home. You've made me cough now. So I'll just do these random pop-up lives, so there's no... I don't set them up. Nobody knows I'm going to be here. It's just quite interesting to see how many come in, to be honest. Usually you only get 5 or 6 people in. Got quite a few people watch it on the replay, though, so it's worth doing. How are you doing? Are you day off, or are you on your lunch, or...? I'm just here. I should be at work in about 20 minutes. I've got my head on now. For the first time in a long time, I actually go to work on time, and it's surprising the benefits of that. But I've got some more work done on the car tomorrow. An anti-roll bar fitted. It sounds like somebody's underneath the front of the bonnet going. It's not good. I was just saying, I don't know if you heard me on about the film about Nicholas Winton, the guy that saved 600. He was in a group of people that saved 669 Jewish Czechoslovakian children during World War II. Anthony Hopkins plays him, and Helena Bonham Carter plays his mother. And it's absolutely bloody brilliant. It's quite an emotional film, to be honest. I thought it was unusual because on Sky sometimes they don't put the best ones on. K-pop fan, hi, how are you? Very good, thank you. Bintang, this is going to be a good one. Jelapat Baru, greetings from Indonesia. Greetings to you, my friend, as well. John Paul Glasgow, hello, mate, how you doing? I think I've got the audio set up. I look like I'm professional. I'm only actually using a phone and this road interview go, and it seems to work properly. But looking down that camera, it looks like I've got some amazing sort of setup, doesn't it, really? The camera's pretty good. 11 people in all at one time. That's unusual for my lives at the minute, especially when they pop up. You're not fine. Why? What happened? Kleinen, how you doing? Very well, thank you. Nice to see you. If you're, I'm in the UK, so if you're not from the UK, I don't speak any other language. But if you want to mention whereabouts you actually are, I'll shout you out. Why you're not fine? If you're a K-pop fan, you're probably a younger sort of person. What life lessons that you have experienced in life that you would like to share with me? Don't start smoking. There's the first one. If you can ever possibly do it, never borrow any money. And if you can ever possibly do it, never lend any out either. Always treat your wife with respect. You'll regret it if you don't later. And I don't mean later as an instant response, but you'll feel guilty about it for the rest of your life. You're very sick. What is wrong with you? Is it no, just what is wrong with you? Always look after your teeth. That's actually a poem and a song in it. Always look after your teeth and wear sunscreen. Navy, never again. Volunteer yourself. Ah, right. I never went into any forces. I've got amazingly flat feet. No, I can't tell you a joke. I can never remember a joke, even 5 minutes after somebody's told me it. So that's not really going to work out. You can tell me one if you want. Yeah, I've never been in any armed forces or anything like that. I've got amazingly flat feet and they won't let you in the day. I actually wanted to be a police officer. My dad said, if you do, I'll disown you. So, there you go. Okay. Cabby Edits. Is that, no, that doesn't mean it, does it? XX, what's all that about? Anybody else? What, if you were going to give somebody some life advice, what would it be? Trying to think of another thing. It's amazing that you go back over life, you think, oh, I wish I'd never done that. Don't get a credit card. Can I tell you about Slough? I've never been. Well, I've been through it. Every time I came out from Heathrow Airport when I first started going, I used to end up in Slough. I used to take the wrong slip road and end up in Slough. It's a very, very concrete business, concrete place. What do you do for a living? Are you a business owner? I'm live it to the max, exactly, Jane. Yeah. What do you do for a living? I drive a cab for a living. I've done for 30 years, and I own it. Own the cab, and well, technically, I own the business. Yeah, it's only a phone number of me. That's all. I've been doing it for 30 years. Oh no, football. I don't know where Amish is. I think it was this time last week you were teasing each other about it, wasn't it? See, I don't follow football. I would never. Do I know the knowledge? You didn't have to do it. I'm in a place in Lincolnshire, and when I started doing it, you didn't have to do the knowledge, but you do now. But I've been around it. Yeah, self-employed. Yeah, I've been self-employed. I've been driving them for 30 years because I was part-time for a start, and I've been self-employed since 1996, 1st of March. If you hate America so much, maybe you should go back to your own country, like for real. What's that life advice? Well, if you move to a different country and you don't like it, you should always go back home, shouldn't you? You should never move to a different country and then try and change it into yours, because otherwise, what's the point in going there? I fully agree with you. If you don't like America, don't go there. I actually do like America, and I've been there. I've got friends there. Sadly, one of my friends has just lost his. His car's just got wrecked in Helena. Is it? Uber doesn't affect me here because we ain't got it, but we're only in a small market town and they're not really interested in us. They just want to take over the world. Depends how you look. If you're in America, I was talking to a friend of mine in America and he said that the cabs, the actual taxis around where we were, where he lives at the time, had 500,000 miles on. There was a spring sticking out the seat. They're absolutely filthy. They've never been cleaned properly for years. And he said all of a sudden Uber came along and you can get one straight away. Never worked in London, no. I've dropped off in London, over Heathrow, all sorts of places. I used to do a lot of work for a company just here a lot of years ago, and I'd be dropping parcels off in that. And so I've been to quite a lot of the big places, Covent Garden and all sorts of things, just that random shops. We used to go to Harrods as well 3 times a week, just to drop stuff off, because they were having problems with the delivery company. And they were in between delivery companies. So we did it for a few weeks while they got another one. London is a very beautiful city, but it looks even better in your rear view mirror on the way out. That sort of stress in your life is, I don't think you need it. I'm just in a little market town in Lincolnshire and it's busier. It's a lot busier than it ever was. There's been a lot of building work going on around here, a lot of new houses built, and a lot of people here. And it's the actual town itself is busier than it's ever been. But with that comes the traffic. I tend to work sort of afternoon into the evening, and the traffic will disappear in the evening. But when you're in London, it never disappears, does it? I've been there doing a bit of chauffeuring work at 3 a.m. and it's just like a madhouse. It's crazy. I've been to the. I went to the Big Brother house once to drop a parcel off there when Channel 4 still did it, when it was good. I think it was just the year before they dumped it, to be honest. They were using a lot of fancy dress. How many? Oh, I don't know. Well, you never know, do you? So I've been doing it for 30 years. So a lot of the people I pick young women up with the children who we used to pick up as children. So, I mean, the thing is, if you go on a bus, depending how much it is, if you get four old ladies with shopping, if you get on a bus, it drops them off half a mile from their house. They've got it to carry. 4 old ladies get in a cab, it's cheaper than 4 people getting on a bus, and you drop them off at the door. So, horses for courses. Random videos. What sort of videos do you make then? You're obviously a YouTube channel, but you haven't got a emblem in your at the side of it. So normally you would have. Are you doing well with it? Is it a big channel? It just depends what people want to do, doesn't it, really? I've just found in a packet of crisps, I don't know if it'll show up on that camera, a fried potato sprout. That's what that is. It's the first time I've ever found that in a packet of crisps. Obviously, that one didn't clean very well. No, it's not. It's just the name it shows. All right. I've seen random videos. Well, it's not. It looked like a spider's leg for a start, so I was a bit more concerned about that. But it's not. It's actually a fried potato sprout. I've worked on farms back in the day, so you don't worry about stuff like that. I thought when you put random videos, because there is accounts actually called that, isn't it? I thought you was one of them. Bald. Oh, you're not. Never. Are you bald as well? You've got a whole 1 follower on YouTube. Well, if you put some content on there, you soon get some more. Is it something you'd like to do, John Paul? Would you like to get into the live thing? What's the busiest time of week as a cab driver? Usually weekends. Friday and Saturday night. And where I live, there's not many people working on a Sunday, so Sunday can be good up until early evening, because with the invention of drink and drug tests at work, people are tucked in bed a lot earlier than they used to be on a Sunday evening, which has got to be a good thing. You can't go to work drunk, can you? But it just means you used to have people wandering about at midnight on a Sunday, whereas now they're all in bed for 10. So, but Sunday can be a busy day, especially when the football season started again. Obviously, people still like to go out and have a few pints doing that, watching that, and then they go home, say, for 7:30, 8 o'clock now. Bald. Oh, God. I've just shaved my head, I'm pleased. I'm obviously my personal hygiene's on point. There's not really much you can do to upset me, to be honest. I've been driving a cab for 30 years. I've heard most of it. And the quietest time I found was Wednesday, because when I first started doing this, they still had half-day closing. And so I always chose Wednesday off. Correct me if I'm wrong, but our cabs are more expensive than Uber. Not really. I don't think so. I think what it is you'll get a business model that they put out saying we're cheaper than what cabs are. And if you tell enough people enough times, everybody just thinks, oh, Uber, they're cheaper than normal cabs. But you get one. What'll happen? This is what'll happen. Probably not in my lifetime. In my working lifetime. But what will happen is ride-sharing apps will take over the world completely. That's exactly what they're going to do, because they've got enough money behind them to carry on doing it. And then you will pay through the nose. When there is no competition, you will pay through the nose. The drivers will be exploited. They'll get half of what the fare is. Uber will charge you exactly what they want to do. Surge pricing will be in all the time because there'll be a shortage of them, and you will pay through the absolute nose. Because what you're dealing with, you're not dealing with a little bloke who's self-employed. You're dealing with a hedge fund and Google and things like that. So, but people won't realise it until after the day, and then they'll all sit there going, it's like with pubs. They never went, we had a Wetherspoons built here, and one called Canutes, which was another big chain. So they all went and left the little pubs and all went there. So, this is cheap, this is lovely. And the landlords of the smaller pubs all said to them, well, we're struggling now, so, if you don't come here, we'll be gone. And sure enough, they didn't go there, so the pubs are gone. So there's a very, very small amount of pubs now where we are. And everybody goes when they go out, oh, there's not much in town anymore, is there? Now all the pubs have shut. So, well, there you go. If you don't use them, they'll leave you. Oh, yeah, get on. What do you think of self-driving cars? God, can you imagine? Are you a questioner bot? You're not giving much away, but you're wanting to know a lot of stuff. I'm a filling a survey in or something like that. I can't imagine ever getting in a car that's not, in a vehicle that's not on a track that's self-driving, ever. If you go to Stansted Airport, there's a transport there and it's got no driver. But there's somebody overseeing it and it's only on one track and it can't hit anything. There's no way ever do I want to drive down the road in a car that's driving itself. No way. Hopefully they never get them here. It's the worst idea in the world. The other thing is, what I think is just imagine if you get rid of all the jobs. So, right, you've got rid of the cab drivers, the car drivers, the lorry drivers, you've got rid of absolutely everything. Everything's automated. Where are you going to earn your money? There's nowhere to work. So who's going to spend money on these things when there isn't any money? It's because there isn't any money, because nobody's working, because everybody's got an automated thing to do the jobs. Unless everybody's got a job, then what are you going to do? Universal income. Yeah, that works all right, isn't it? People at the top are going to give you your money to live on. Where are they going to make theirs from? And then all of a sudden you don't behave properly, so you don't get your money anymore. There's a bloke here called David Icke back in the day, and he used to go on about corrupt governments, and they would eventually shut you down if you didn't behave. And they all called him a nutcase. But and in some cases, I think he did get a little bit of mental health going on. But you imagine if you took away cash from the society, everybody has to use a card. If somebody upstairs decides you're not the one, you walk up to the till and they switch your card off, and they don't take cash. You can't have your goods, you can't eat. They've just terminated your power of purchase. And that's where it's wrong, isn't it? That's what's wrong. Charge higher taxes for the companies using AI. Yeah, that'll work, won't it? They'll just move it to a different country which charges less. You don't stand a chance. If you're born in this life with not much money, it's a bit of a struggle to get up the ladder. And you'll always encounter people on the way that don't want you to get any better. They want you to stay. There was a class system in this country, and it still belongs, or it's still there in people with money's mind. They think because they've got more money in the bank than you, they're more important than you. In actual fact, whether you're a homeless person, an addict, a cab driver, an airplane pilot, a nurse, a doctor, you're no better than anybody else as a person, regardless of how much money you've got. So like John Paul, as you just said there, he's now disabled. Is he disabled? He can't work. Just watch people say boredom as I'm unable to work through ill health. There you go. So is he less of a person because he can't work? No, he's not. He's just the same. But will a company want to pay for his life? No, they won't. They're not bothered about him. They want to have even more money in the bank. So, how do we get onto this? I blame you. I think you're a bot. The amount of massive companies in this country or in the world that don't pay any tax whatsoever, and in some cases, I suppose, rightly so. You know, they've got millions of people working for them, and millions of people are paying tax, and they're using the money to invest in the company to make it bigger. Do they really need to be paying masses of tax? It's the same as taxing Range Rovers £700 a year. Some people need a Range Rover to drive onto a building site or onto a construction site to see their employees why charge him £700? Like, oh, well, why? Why is that? Oh, well, it's got loads of emissions. No, it hasn't. Diesels have got DPF filters on, and there's less comes out of my diesel car than what there is out of most things. But again, it was put into the media by the government because they wanted to sell electric cars. You do have to be a little bit careful of what you listen to. I can't remember what the statistic was. It was something like, if you tell somebody a lie for 6 months, you won't get them to change their mind in 2 years. You do need a Range Rover. Have you got a car? Are you classed as a blue badge, disabled? My mum and dad, they've got one through that charity scheme, and they're on the third one. Hello, Ian, how you doing? Thanks for my parcel. Are you requiring a review on that parcel, or was it a secret parcel? I didn't expect that, to be honest. My wife's been buying me some more T-shirts. I don't know if anybody's got a bit of a gut going on. There's a guy it comes up on Facebook. I can't remember the name of the company now, which is really going to help out. I don't see any way of doing a review on them either because I ain't got that sort of camera. To actually be able to do it, but there's oh God, I don't know how to drive, bloody hell. Get a cab. I can't remember the name of the guy, but I can't really do a review because I ain't got that sort of camera. But for people that have been buying from Sports Direct, and you find out that you think, oh, I'm putting some weight on, and you aren't really. They've just got smaller T-shirts all of a sudden. I went from 3XL to 4XL. Anyway, my wife's found these T-shirts. Actually, this guy's on Facebook, and God, they fit amazing, absolutely amazing. These are quite good. I can't remember the name of this company either. But I bought some of these and they're good. Do you have a membership fee? You have to pay to the council every year. And I have to do a driver's badge every 3 years. Which I'm just on with now. I've just done the eye test yesterday. Went down. My eyes in the last 4 years, my left eye has decreased a little bit for reading. And I'm 58 in November. But the other one's just the same as it was. And I didn't need any new specs. So that was a bonus. That was a bit of a thing I could do without. So I've just got to go for the medical, and then we're back on for another 3 years. I actually pay for the criminal records thing, to make sure you're all right. They used to call it the CRB. I don't know if they call it that now. But I pay for mine yearly. I think it's yearly. And they take it out yearly, which means that it's always active. So if you want to change jobs, if I want to go into the care industry or something like that, they can get on there. No, they don't pay membership. No, you just pay what it is. The only thing that works properly on me is my eyes. Oh, wow. What is it you've got? If you don't want to tell me, it's up to you. Do people pay a membership to drive them around? No, it's not a membership. It's just a fare. For years, I used a mechanical meter that's, obviously they fasten it to the dashboard and you press a button and it goes, why don't you charge a member? I'm sure they want to pay that. No, it's not. They don't work like that. They ring you up. There is some loyal customers until you can't pick them up, and then people just want a cab. Like when you first start doing what I do. Oh, bless you. When people first doing what I do, they imagine that I've got that customer, that one's mine now. And when they see him getting out of somebody else's cab, they're really, really annoyed. They think that somebody's stolen them. What you've got to realise is people just want to get from where they are to where they're going. Right. Oh, yeah. That's never going to work out, is it really? The only way you do that is if you work 24 hours a day, because then you'd be there every minute that they wanted you. You'd have to have a team of people working 24 hours a day. It wouldn't fit in anyway, because these are called acne carriages, and there's a set way that you can charge people, and the set way is you charge them when they get in and stop charging them when they get out. You've actually got to do what you're told, basically. You can't offer low price fares or anything. You can't advertise that it's going to be cheaper if they go with you or anything. None of that. It's not It is fixed price. You can, I mean, like if you've got a regular customer and they want to go to the airport and ask you how much it is, you can tell them what you want because that's a private hire. But if they get in the cab, you're supposed to put the meter on and turn it off when they get out. Or just before they get out so they can pay you. Generally, people expect to do that. They're not interested in, they just want one. If you said, right, pay a subscription every month, you give me 50 quid a month and then you can have as many cabs as what you want. It wouldn't work out because they'd all want to go to Lincoln every day. They wouldn't want to pay the 50 quid a month. And it'd have to be more than that anyway, otherwise you'd lose out. It generally won't work. It's quite surprising when you actually tip the phone vertically and set up going live. It actually goes into your shorts feed rather than into your main channel feed. So what you do tend to get is a lot of people in and out pretty quick, a little bit like TikTok. But your general watch time hours are quite low. But on this occasion, I didn't want to get comfortable in my office chair and then be sat there for an hour and a half doing videos because I've really got to get on today because it's, there we go. For example, I work 10 miles away. I have to travel every day to work. I would pay for this service monthly for a lower fare since it is a constant need. Yeah, well, there would be a company what would do that for you. But there's not many people. I'd certainly in this country that unless, well, even if it was a company now, I would never say, right, pay me at the end of the month. It's a highway to nowhere. What normally happens is if you do that for somebody, not all the people, I'm not saying you're not honest because I've never met you before and you're just a name on the internet. What would normally happen is at the end of that month, if something went wrong in your life, or if something went wrong in another person's life who was not quite as honest as you, they won't pay you. And so you lose the customer, the money that you've done, and it's just a waste of time. So why not just charge them every day? You know, that's it, done. They do school contracts over here, and I think that's a bit like that, how that works. You have to tender for them, so you are getting a little bit less than what you would, but they say, oh, it's regular work, but it is to a point, but the kids only go to school for 7 months a year. And if you want to go away with your wife, you've got to go in the summer holidays, or and you end up paying a fortune for your holidays. Yeah, well, best of luck with that. Whereabouts are you in the world? It might work to where you are. 10% cheap is not worth it anyway, is it? If you were only going to spend, 10 miles, 20 quid, you get £2 off it, so do it for 18. I bet if you were doing that on a regular basis from where you are, and you paid every day, they'd knock you 10% off, no problem. But there's not many people would wait while the end of the month to get paid. Because if you imagine the cash flow burden on that, if you've got all of your customers doing the same thing, you'd have one payday at the end of the month. You'd have 5% that didn't pay. And then you'd have a lot of people that didn't use you as much as they said they were going to do. They'd have a week off every now and again. It would be, for me personally, I wouldn't even enter into anything like that. I was sat up this morning. It was a bit late. I was late going to bed. I just sat there having a few drinks, and I got on watching. There's a Simon Squibb interviewing a marketing guru, and who keeps popping up on shorts, and I can't remember his bloody name. But what a fascinating guy! Honestly, he was saying about marketing, and it opens your eyes. He said he went into a motorway services and he said he thought they were closed. But then he thought, well, we went in here once on Christmas Day, so they must be 24 hours, otherwise they would have been closed then. So he actually went into the services. So they went in and he said to the guy, oh, I thought you were closed. There was no lights. Oh, he said the last bloke that went out forgot to put the lights on. But he said, now if that guy that forgot to put the lights on had stolen something on his way out, they'd actually sack him for gross misconduct. But the fact they didn't turn the lights on probably lost him £5,000, not, 50 pence for a chocolate bar. And it makes you think. Just imagine, if your business isn't lit up. And they said another tip for like cafes, even in the winter, put chairs and tables outside. Because if you ride past and you see chairs and tables outside, you know the business is open. Rather than peering in to see if anybody's in there. And they were saying that, in some places, that's why they do lower prices at certain times of the day. Because if you get 5 people in a restaurant, another 5 people will come straight in. Whereas if it's empty, it doesn't make it very good. I know we've been to... we were in Spain once. Went for a Chinese in Spain, but we were looking for restaurants, and this one was empty, and we thought, well, we just can't bother to walk any further. So we went, and he sat us near the window, or near the front of the restaurant, and within 10 minutes it was half full. It was nothing wrong with the food. It was just the fact that everybody's thinking, I'm not going in there. It's obviously crap. But I say, fabulous marketing tricks that you can do to help your business, which are really simple. But I mean, the first one obviously was the lighting one. Well, my cab has a light on the top that says taxi. Well, you imagine riding around in the dark. It's actually a state vehicle. We don't have to have London black cabs here. And if you haven't got that sign on the top, they wouldn't know it's a cab. So get it lit up, make sure people know that you're in business. I actually take payment cards, and I've been going to do it. And I think after watching him last night, I'm going to have it done pretty quick. I'm going to get something made, a sticker on the wing saying "We take card." So when they're walking towards the car, they can actually see. Because it's surprising, when I actually started taking card about 4 years ago, they actually said in the advertising that people will spend 15% more on a card because they don't think, they're not counting it out in notes. And that guy, that marketing guru bloke, he said that things are 15% cheaper if you pay for it by card. Because you're just doing a deal in your head, with your wages. You think, I'll pay it off next month. I mean, how many people's ever walked? Hello, Wally, how you doing, mate? Are you at school? Don't you be getting into trouble? Everybody follow Ollie. He's a gamer and a lovely guy. He's actually one of my customers. Now, he's only a young chap, so make sure you're friendly towards him. But he's put some really nice shorts up, and he's a good gamer as well. Don't you be getting in trouble at school? Just to show you that everybody says, oh, well, it's for 18s. I mean, there's nothing on here for to upset anybody under the age of anything like that. But bless him. I think he might have just gone. It's gone down to 4. But definitely for me, the card thing was a big step, really. The amount of people that pay on card nowadays or contactless on the phone, it's so quick and easy, it's brilliant. And the card people have changed as well. I use a company called SumUp. I don't know if anybody's ever seen them, but the innovation with that, even when I first started using it, you could actually never put the amount on the keyboard right. And it took me ages to realise, because after about 2 or 3 months, they got the keyboard upside down. The 9 was at the top left-hand corner, I think, or something. I can't remember how it was. But your brain just didn't work, because on every other thing, it was the opposite way up. On a calculator and stuff like that, it was the other way up. Anyway, they changed that, and now they've changed out to hourly payments. So within 2 hours of somebody paying you on card, it's in a virtual business account on your phone, which you would be able to use on a card. Whereas companies like... what did they call them? I can't think what the other one was. PayPal bought them, I think, or PayPal. Yeah, PayPal bought them. I can't think what the name of the thing is now. I got one of them, and you'd do a job today, and sometimes they'd be turning up next Friday. But if you've got a lot of money on card, you can't stand that cash flow for that amount of time. You've put the fuel in today. I'm not saying you want the money today, but I've always been used to getting it every time on a Monday. I download it into my business account on a Monday. And it's just too long a time when you don't know when it's coming. It's too long a time. I think everybody's cleared off with my chats about card machines. Some of the card machine companies, they'll charge a monthly subscription and then offer you slightly lower rates. Well, The thing is, if you pay slightly more instead of paying the subscription, if you have a quiet month on card, which sometimes you do, last Christmas, for 4 weeks solid in December, the card machine was hardly used. It went down by loads. And you could tell people had saved up all year for Christmas and they were using cash. So if you were paying a high fee, that month you lost out. And obviously that's the busiest month of the year anyway for anything. You know, people will spend money on it. Anyway, we've been here 35 minutes. It's been absolutely fantastic today. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I prefer. I'm on Sum Up and I get sorry, I'm getting a job come through on my phone. I do it like that, and because I'm one of the early users, so with Sum Up, I get it 1.6%, which works out 8 pence in the fibre, and that's the only fee that you do pay. You don't pay any monthly fee at all. I mean, you keep getting a ring up saying, "Oh, do Doja pay or something like that, low pay," and you're paying too much for your card machine. That's when the ring up to now. I'm fine, thanks. Well, it's we can do it at 0.5%. Yeah, how much is the monthly fee? I don't want to talk about that. Not at that stage because they haven't really got into you with the sales pattern. So no, you're all right. I'll stick with who I am. I actually did move over to. It'll come to me in a minute. That one with a little tag that sticks out the side. It was a really good machine, but the battery life on it was hopeless. Because at one bit, the Sum Up machines, the Bluetooth connection from the machine to the phone was really poor, especially on a Samsung and Android. And you're constantly reconnecting it. Whereas now I've got mine connected through a meter because my meter's on an iPhone 10. And it never disconnects. It works brilliant. They had a bit of a thing the other week where it kept saying remove card and they want the card in there. So I ordered a new reader and it came the next day. And when I connected the old one back up, that problem had gone away. So it must have been a software glitch overnight. It was a Sunday night. But since I've been using Sum Up, it's gone down 4 times in 4 years. And it's an average. The longest one was, it had a massive sort of meltdown at about 1 a.m. one Saturday, one Sunday morning. And they got it up and running throughout the world in 45 minutes. So I think you're better off anyway because you know exactly how much it is. Yeah, well, who wants to pay? Because if you work out how many 8 pence is in 20 quid, so that's how many fivers you can take without working it out on a calculator. That's how many fivers you can take before you're actually costing any money. But I think it's 1.77 if you're a new user, but they've left it with us who've been there the longest. So the only thing is if they get rid of cash completely, which they never will, because hopefully people will stand up and be counted. If you do get rid of cash, then they can charge what they want again. You know, and everything's. There is an argument for it as well. That's right. Here's a £10 note. If I give you a £10 note, then you've got a £10 note. If I give you it by card transaction, you've only got £9.90. Well, you've only got £9.84. And then you give that £9.84 to somebody else, and eventually, when you get down there, the only person that's made any money, it'll have gone away completely, won't it? And the banks have made money on each transaction. But you have to move with the times and actually, have these type of things. Otherwise, you're losing out. There's quite a few companies say, "Oh, we're not taking card. We just want cash." But then you've got the obvious thing: you've got to then take the cash to the bank. Then the bank shuts down. You know what I mean? It's a pain. My particular, I found out you could put it in at the post office now, so it doesn't really matter. God, I think that's been dropped. Anyway, 39 minutes. I really need to go and make some money to put in the bank. As I say, we've got another bit of a thing tomorrow. New anti-roll bar. About 400 quid, thank you very much. If I didn't have to use a car, I'd be a lot better off. thankfully, when you get, it's actually a Skoda and it uses a lot less parts than what a Ford does. I had a Ford Cougar, and basically after 2 years, I'd nearly replaced everything apart from the doors and windows. It's been lovely today. There's been lots of people in. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you all soon.